Hey, I want to ask you, you know, for people who don't know, when you land in LA and you go to the airport and the gift shops, one of the most ripped off, I know that in the gift shops, the LA is officially yours.
Yeah.
But in general,
Right.
your iconic image of those tattooed hands is probably the most pirated, ripped off photo in hip hop culture ever.
And it's the most tattooed.
And it's the most tattooed. But when I tell you, man, I see that shit everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's crazy, right? So it's like, for you, it's like... a
double-edged sword.
Can you tell me the story behind that specific photo?
Yeah, I was out in downtown and I was doing a little photo shoot that I was doing for my clothes. And I was shooting a woman, you know, gang member, and she was throwing up her neighborhood. And I was like, hey, can you throw up something, you know, more universal so that, like, you know, we didn't want to be branded to just one neighborhood and the picture come out. And like, yeah, it says the name of the brand, but the photo, you know, she's throwing up her hood. It could be any hood, you know?
Yeah.
But with that letter, you know, so it's like, let's do something more universal, you know, let's throw up to LA. And she did it. And I was like, usually back then I didn't really know anything about photography. This 1994, you know, I'm telling you, I got my camera like a year before probably. So I'm just shooting like from afar, you know, like maybe 10 feet so you could see the whole building and everything. And I wasn't really into shooting details, but for this one time, like 2 shots, I went in and I just shot the fingers, you know, just the hands. And I didn't really put it out there like that for a little while, maybe a couple of years, because I was more into the whole environment, like the whole photo.
Right.
So when people would ask me I would do an interview or whatever, they would say, can you send us 10 of your best photos that you like the most? And I was noticing that I was shooting just wide, full-frame shots, like a girl with a house or a guy with a house with a lowrider.
Yeah, a lot of your photos are like storytelling for real. Yeah.
So I wanted to change it up, and I wanted to show some detail shots, like just the rim or just the fingers or just the face, you know. And I started sending that around and seeing the reaction that it was getting. I was like, fuck, I'm going to send it again. And, you know, and I just kept sending that on every one. I would change maybe the other 9 photos out of the 10 they wanted. I would change those other ones, but I always send the LA fingers. And people would always print that one. You know, they'd say, like, send 10 and we'll pick 4 or 5 or whatever.
That would be the one that always got printed.
Yeah, either it was the main part of the story with my, you know, LA photographer, you know, boom, there's that photo, then the interview, or they want it for the cover or whatever. And I noticed that shit was just the one. Yeah. So I just kept putting it out there here and there for 30 years. I've been putting it out there.
You kind of said it's like a gift and a curse, right? Because it is such an iconic photo, but it's also, like you said, I mean, like if you walk through Santee Alley, you're going to probably see your shit.
Oh, for sure.
Everywhere.
Venice Beach, Santee Alley.
Everywhere you see your shit. You're like, that's my shit.
Yeah.
But you also, if you go to LAX, there's the official shit.
Right.
You know, so.
That's what I'm trying to do, is get the official shit out there enough to where people don't have to buy the bootleg shit from the scumbags down there, you know, doing the fake shit. No disrespect to the name bootleg, but.
No, it's all good.
You know,
the bootleg shit.
Yeah. Those guys, you know, it's like that's my shit, you know, like I've been promoting that photo that I took for 30 years and you just fucking go and make a shirt of it, you know, and cash in on my hard work, you know. It's a fucked up feeling.
It sucks too, because I do feel like that's kind of the plight of photographers, is somehow, you know, you've obviously been able to break through and be one of the GOATs, but like somehow photographers, man, and even videographers and graphic designers, I feel like those three, but photographers moreover than anybody, somehow always, man, just don't get the appreciation. Because I feel like people who don't know, they don't really understand like the work,
right?
The like you said, you were on tour with people, and you guys might have been standing right next to each other, and you would see their photos, and you'd be like, "How the fuck did you get that?" And I got mine, and we're standing inches from each other.
Right.
This is not like, there's just so much that goes into it, and like, no one thinks about the photographer when they print a picture. And they're going on. I mean, that happened with Cameron. Cameron was selling merch of the picture of him on the phone wearing all pink, and didn't credit the photographer, and the photographer sued him and won.
Yeah.
And it's like, you got to understand, like, that's art. Like, that's your art. You're the artist.
Yeah, it's like you taking one of their songs and just put it on your shit.
And they're going to want to get paid.
Oh, it get hot.
It's going to get hot.
Motherfucker, you can't use my song.
Exactly. Well, don't use my fucking photo.
Yeah. It's that simple, but everything's just so twisted now. It's like so crazy, like that whole thing, It's like,
but I mean, I'm sure that photo has been such a blessing for you as well.
Yeah, because every time they use it without asking, it's
cease and desist.
Blessings.
You must have a great fucking lawyer.
Yeah, the cease and desist isn't that great because you're just telling people to stop doing what you already been doing.
It's the lawsuit that's
the better one is like at the end of they made all that money, and then you're like, hey.
Did any of the big? Because I always see like Fashion Nova, Shein, some of these like bigger companies that are like manufactured in China. Did they ever steal your shit?
Yeah, they got to pay too.
So they don't get. So you sued them?
They got to cut a check.
Yeah,
So
who was one of the bigger brands?
They don't let me say it.
Oh, okay, got it.
That's part of it. But
they had to cut a motherfuckers had to cut a check.
Yeah, I got my residuals, or what do they call in the music industry when you
residuals? Your royalties.
Yeah, I had to get my royalties.
That's great.
We're on a hip hop show. So
yeah, of course.
I had to get my royalties.
That's dope, man. I think it's just so cool every time I'm at LAX and I see your shit. And then my homie Franco does your merch.
Yeah,
in Burbank. So I'll be at the factory and I'll see all your shit.
Yeah.
So
my boy Mike Messick, who was next door to him, I don't know if you know him. No, he was next door to the building next door.
Oh, okay. Got you.
He took me over there.
Milky Way, great place.
Mike Messick was one of my oldest friends in like Hollywood. Mm-hmm. He was one of the first guys to do raves, and he DJ'd and he did the clubs, and he was one of the guys that I used to work the door with.
That's
door
crazy.
4. And then he got me into DJing and stuff, so we'd go to DJ like fraternity parties and weddings and quinceañeras and bar mitzvahs and all that. So he was like big in the LA scene back in the days with like Delicious Vinyl was going, all that. Like he was around the times of all that, and one of the bigger DJs of all those parties.